Hey guys, it's me Shane, and I'm here to give you a bit of, introspective. If you notice the title, this is something I never thought I would have to talk about in 2021. Uh, Let me give you some background. Over the last, goodness gracious, I'll even say, I'll go as far as saying 4 to 5 months, but what really sparked me into doing this was a comment I saw maybe a week or two ago. Uh, Spoilers for Dragon Ball Super manga if you're waiting to, I guess, for the anime to pick back up, which probably won't be for a while, and all of this stuff will be longer down the road. But in this manga, uh, Goku's able to finally master the Ultra Instinct, and he does after images. After images are very reminiscent of Naruto's Shadow Clones, or should we say Naruto's Shadow Clones are very reminiscent of Dragon Ball's after image. And even before that, Goku had a technique where there was a larger form of himself, kind of like an essence, or what people were saying now is like Susano, and so on and so forth. Even the new character, Granola, which crossing my fingers that he turns out to be a good guy because he's really cool. He has a golden eye, and people were saying, "Oh, that's like Sharingan Byakugan." And I also saw a post where someone said, "Man, Itachi, you guys need to stop it, Dragon Ball people. Itachi would smoke Goku. He can't stop a Genjutsu." Now, for those of you who haven't checked out, let me break down a couple things. Like I said, after image technique showed up in the very, very beginnings of Dragon Ball, especially with the World Tournament. Dragon Ball started in 1984 by Akira Toriyama and ended in 1995. Japan speaking. We were still waiting for them to catch up for the Frieza saga over here, but I digress. Um, After image technique has been a thing. The large glowing technique, I'm sure there's many other things that have done that. I just didn't take the time to look that up. And if we're gonna go through, I'll go through the whole Genjutsu and Goku thing later. It's becoming a really strange occurrence to see many Naruto fans, especially, well, really, really hardcore fans, come after Dragon Ball and come after its fans like that. Which, notoriously, there have been fans that the hardcore fans say, but can this character beat Goku? And that's even when I was remember when One Punch Man first became a thing. People were like, oh, this guy could beat up Goku. Guys, you have to remember that in these characters' respective worlds, they are the strongest. They are the top of the top. Now, let's say you have something like a video game, like Shonen, like Jump Force, which, but Jump versus Stars, or the Shonen Jump game, Shonen Jump Ultimate. Man, I wish they would make another 2D game like that. It was on the DS and 3DS. When you have these characters coming in from the different worlds, when you affect for power scaling, which power levels were never a thing in manga and anime until Dragon Ball, and relatively speaking, it's just a way just to have the reader and watcher say, "Hey, we want you to know this guy is really, really strong." Now, when we have these power level struggles, such as Saitama and then Goku, if you really want to be entertained, you would have both characters meet up in a neutral zone, and Saitama would end up being as strong as a character from, let's say, the Tournament of Power. Tournament of Power had many strong opponents that Goku and Vegeta had to overcome. That's how you do things like that. That's if they want to make money. If you think about it like a video game, it doesn't matter whoever plays the character better, that means the character's stronger. So I'm gonna go back to Naruto. Let's go back to this issue of this is a copying this. Everything that has ever been written is usually an homage to someone or something else, especially if the author or creator was influenced by it. Many, and I have a couple of notes I pulled up here. Many mangaka and anime artists, they have cited Akira Toriyama in Dragon Ball as being their inspiration and influencing them, including Ichiro Oda, who One Piece is the best selling and largest manga and anime of all time right now, and if you watch my earlier video, is technically the best. It's even better than Dragon Ball, which isn't fair to say because Dragon Ball was the first, but you get what I'm saying. It inspired Kubo Tite. Try not to say his name wrong. Guy who made Bleach. Inspired Hiro Mashima, who made Fairy Tail and Rave. The person who illustrates Boruto. They're the one that's it's not Kishimoto by the by. Actually, Kishimoto just started taking over the reins for the story in November 2020 because people weren't liking where it's going, and I'll get on that in a moment as well. We also have the right for Black Cat, Kentari, Yabuki, on and on and on and on. As a matter of fact, there's even American influences where the producer of Steven Universe, Ian Jones Corley, he says, us in the office, we love Dragon Ball, and it's very apparent in the show. Not many shows have fusions of characters, and very obvious that Steven Universe borrowed some of that. So, like I said, Dragon Ball began in 1984, ran to 1995. Uh, Probably began in over here, maybe around the same time. Maybe it was spotty in certain parts of the United States, but Dragon Ball became big in like '95 over here, right when it ended in Japan. Now, when you think about Naruto, and my memory of Naruto isn't foggy, but I wanted to make sure I had this correct because when I was in high school, and that's a time, I'm a teenager becoming a young adult. I can vividly remember my first manga, like reading from right to left, was Naruto. That was the first one I picked up, and I picked up the issue where they were in the Forest of Death, and Naruto had rescued Sasuke from a then disguised Orochimaru. I remember that very vividly because I enjoyed how different the artwork was. I enjoyed that it was ninjas, and then instead of ki or chi, they were using chakra, which is also a very real thing that you can look up. Um, I loved it, and as a matter of fact, the anime, which in Japan it started in 2002. Over here, we got in Cartoon Network with Toonami in 2005. I remember watching it. I actually remember, I shouldn't admit this, back before manga was more readily accessible, and actually, a current thing that started maybe 2014 is with the publishing places keeping our chapters up to date with Japan very closely related. It would take so long for our books to get caught up. A lot of us would go to internet sites to read. And I remember being a senior in high school, reading all the way up into the retrieval of Sasuke arc. I remember just saying, I can't wait. I want to read this. So there, and if I was in high school, I can imagine there's a kid in grade school who saw the Naruto run. For them, it's the Naruto run. For us, Dragon Ball people, it's the charging up and becoming a Super Saiyan. And honestly, at the end of the day, love what you love and like what you like. And I wouldn't comment on this if one, there wasn't really anything to talk about, and two, if there wasn't always extremes on either side. Honestly, you guys know how I feel about Dragon Ball on this channel. I actually love Naruto too. I do take issues with a lot of its female characters, especially Sakura, being used as like Sakura's whole point was to be disliked, and Kishimoto never was able to pull that back up, which is really troubling given that Sarada, the daughter of Sasuke and Sakura, is a big part in Boruto, and him taking back over writing. The guy doesn't know how to write female characters. I'm actually really surprised that Mei the Mizukage and Tsunade weren't completely ruined by him. They're actually really interesting and really likable characters, including Hinata. You're rooting for Hinata the whole way through. So, those of you who read Boruto, good luck to you. But that's also a thing that stems down from Akira Toriyama. You can name on one hand how many female characters in Dragon Ball actually fight. Android 18. Bulma fought in the original beginning of Dragon Ball, and you had Launch, who was a very interesting character who just fell off. You don't see Launch until the end of Dragon Ball Z, where she's giving Goku energy. Chi becomes a housewife, which is fine, but she also becomes a hypocrite who ruins Gohan, but still teaches Goten. But I will get over that. Um, But we have Android 18 who somehow comes in, shows that she's strong enough because she crippled the second strongest character in Vegeta, ends up marrying one of the top human and having his kid, but somehow still being able to fight. She's able to be a wife, a mother, and still fight. And it's just kind of strange how both of these. I'm influenced by you, and yet I still cannot write and succeed where you have failed. It's kind of sad. Actually, Kishimoto's twin brother, Seishi, when he made his, what was it? It might be six. Hate to say the name wrong. He made, in Japan it was called 666 Satan. Literally, that's the name of it because Satan is inside the main character. Lucifer is inside the main character. Over in North America, we called it O Parts Hunter, which fantastic manga. I loved it. I wish I was able to finish my collection of that one because that one was really good. He also made another one called Blaze Driver, which was about powered up stickers. It Kishimoto's twin brother had main female characters that did so well in these stories. That is a thing that I'm glad that Ichiro Oda has able to curve that a bit. Yeah, people talk about the proportions of his characters. Who cares? The men are 12 feet tall and bulky, and the women are this thin at the waist and are very busty. Who cares? The fact of the matter is, he has very interesting characters, and he has very interesting and strong female characters. Big Mom is probably easily one of the top 10 strongest characters in that universe, but I digress. There are things to take away from these two. And I told you I would talk about the Genjutsu thing. Guys, for as dumb as Goku is, and this is Dragon Ball Super Goku, I believe Dragon Ball Super Goku, if he was called an illusion, he would ponder himself how to get out of it and probably just break out through sheer force of will, which is what Dragon Ball Z Goku would do. He would have a little bit of comedy, but he would be smart enough to break through it. At the end of the day, we should be able to have these discussions and let them be fun. People nowadays, and it's been a thing that's happened so much at the turn of the century. I can remember thinking about this back in 2016. Again, guys, I've said this before. Like what you want, but don't disparage the other things that people like. And at the same time, don't take it personal if someone makes a joke about the thing you like or say that they don't like it. It shouldn't ruin your childhood and it shouldn't ruin the thing for you. Just flat out. Uh, oh no, I guess I just wanted to have a discussion about this. It's a topic that just kind of popped up in my mind, and I'm doing my best to watch and review other things so I can give you guys something on Thursdays. But this is kind of a topic that just was boom boom in my face. Uh, at the end of the day, Ichiro Oda still has better writing than both of our guys. Sorry, just had to be said. Uh, and nice little fun fact for this little end of towards the end of the video. Akira Toriyama had a hand in the design for Dragon Ball GT. Didn't write it, he just designed the characters and said, here, draw it like this. It was one of the guys that helped him ink and draw for Dragon Ball Z on the anime. The fact that he couldn't figure all the way back then that Super Saiyans, for women, Pan should have been a Super Saiyan, the hair would just go straight up. I didn't know how to draw it. Trunks had very long hair that went spiky. That's one of the things I'm thankful for Dragon Ball Z. I'm thankful for Akira Toriyama. Just learn from his mistakes. One of his biggest mistakes was as Dragon Ball was getting bigger. It started as comedy, then became a very much martial arts, inspired by Jackie Chan, by the way. I told you everything's inspired from something. He was inspired by Jackie Chan. He was inspired by making fun of Super Sentai and things of that nature. And actually, what got him into drawing was drawing a portrait of 101 Dalmatians when he was younger. He was inspired by the name escapes me, but he was inspired by the artist who created Astro Boy. You can't make that up. And as a matter of fact, Kishimoto was also inspired by the creator of Kinnikuman, aka Ultimate Muscle. Guys, the artists that the things that you like and their artists are inspired by other things. So what if possibly Goku had a giant after image aura, which he's done in the Slug movie before? Who cares if there's multiple copies of him? I wouldn't care if Boruto ended up putting his hands at his side and did a wave. Who cares? The Hadouken is a thing from Street Fighter. I don't hear anybody talk about Goku versus Ryu. I'm just saying, guys. Everything is inspired by something. Heck, when I do some writing, I'm inspired by most of the things I see and by other things that I've read before. And that's just how it is. I wish we had more series that were as nice as Sailor Moon. Maybe one day I'll go into how this artist was maybe inspired by something. Who knows? But Sailor Moon started a whole franchise of transformation pretty girl arcs. Cardcaptor Sakura, Magical Madoka, pretty Precure or Pcure, which apparently they just don't flit and fancy around. Apparently they get rough and tumble. So, love what you love, like what you like, be respectful. Well, guys, thank you for joining me for this nice kind of laid back introspective into things. Let me know, which one do you like more? Do you like Naruto? Do you like Dragon Ball more? Do you like them both? If you don't like either, what's your favorite? You can tell me what your favorite is down below in the comment section. Please remember to subscribe. I give you videos like this every Thursday. Hit the notification bell over there. It will definitely notify you, as the name suggests, of when we get these videos out there. Share the video so other people can join in the discussion. And I just thank you once more. Please, as always, wash your hands, wear your mask, be good, be blessed, be good to yourself and to others. Black Lives Matter. And as always, I would definitely be seeing you next time. I know how sometimes towards the end my editing jumps when I ponder one more thing. I'm trying to get that fixed too. GT was a mistake.